When a hero stumbles, well, the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guy fall. It's okay to be afraid, because you can't be brave or courageous without fear. The idea of being courageous is that even though you're scared, you just do the right thing anyway.
This video is brought to you by the CEO and founder of Cosmos Empowerment, Patrick Nana. Today we're going to talk about the difference between self-consciousness and cosmic consciousness. How many times have you heard the saying, there are two wolves fighting in your mind, one that is peaceful, humble, soulful, and good, and one that is angry, selfish, egotistical, and evil. Both wolves are fighting for dominance and control over the mind, because the one who controls the mind also controls the source and quality of emotions, which affects the body and the world around it. And the wolf that is winning right now is the one you feed the most. And this fight goes on for the rest of our lives. Personally, I like this parable a lot because it emphasizes the ambiguity and differentiation between self-consciousness and cosmic consciousness, between positivity and negativity, between the yin and the yang, chaos and light, and last but not least, between the self and the soul.
The self or ego is more familiar to us than the soul, and here's why. It's generally proven that the human mind is naturally inclined to project more negativity than positivity into the world, meaning it is impossible to experience life beyond negativity until you learn to discipline your mind. For example, no matter how old you get in life, it's easier to learn bad behavior than to learn good behaviors. It is more satisfying to seek revenge and hold grudges than it is to forgive and be the bigger man, because of our mind. It's also easier to hurt others than it is to heal others because of the way the mind behaves when the soul is not in charge. So, to further understand the natural influence that self or the ego has over the body, we need to understand the influence that the soul has on the body first, because in reality, self doesn't exist without the soul and vice versa, and society or science doesn't teach you that. And that's the main vision of this video. Let's take suffering and discomfort, for instance. When experienced in a meaningful way, pain and challenging times can cause both the body and the mind to undergo exponential growth and evolution and healing and longer happiness, or just like Jane Fonda first said in 1980, no pain, no gain. Meaning, as true as self-consciousness and self-awareness are bad habits in the long run, because self-awareness only increases lack of control of the mind, we are naturally inclined as human beings to despise and reject positive changes and effort on the body as much as we hate doing the right thing, thus causing the soul to feel like it's not even there. So if you ever wonder how you could become more familiar to your soul, then learn how to stay away from your ego or self and be the bigger man in every situation in life.
Bought into the not uncommon notion that when I taste success, when I get over there, then I'll be happy. But the strangest thing happened. As the show got more successful, I got more depressed.
It is in our darkest moment that we find the most clarity in life. Human beings are naturally ungrateful, but that is not the problem. To understand the cause of this general inner unbalance, we need to learn more about the difference between self and the soul. If you break down the word self into two, S and elf, and Google their meaning, you will find that S means many or not alone. An elf means a spirit that is mischievous and causes illness and spreads chaos relentlessly, only when it is left unsupervised. But when supervised, something amazing happens, and the elf becomes a resourceful servant, an ally, which you can count on. And that is why self-control and self-discipline and self-love is so important in life. Because the goal is not to get rid of self or the ego, but to tame the beast instead. However, what the world doesn't know is the self only acknowledges one aspect of our inner nature, and that is the soul. And here is why. The soul, as I mentioned in my previous video, has the word O-U-L in it, which means ancient or in charge, or someone that keeps watch, like an owl. Being called an owl is like being called the wisest man around, or someone who stays away from the noises of life to help others open their eyes in life. Ol is also a word used in ancient English to curse and humble the devil. The word is so powerful against self and the ego that if you look for it in most modern dictionaries, you won't find it there. Therefore, the fact that we find clarity in our darkest moment doesn't come from being ungrateful and only know the value of what we have when it's gone, but from being aware of the effect of self more than we are aware of the nature of the soul.
It would be good to be rich and famous. It would be good to be the opposite of this. It would be good to have stuff. It would be good to have money. It would be good to be invited to the party. Well, I've been invited. I've been in. We're having this chat in a private Swish members club in East London. It's super cool. There's bare brick walls. Everyone's double good looking. But I've been inside now. I've seen the other side of the looking glass. It ain't fucking worth it. It's not good. Don't feed your soul. I still feel empty.
What is self-mind or consciousness? Self-awareness and ego consciousness are both remarkable psychological traits which give the mind the ability to be aware of our own actions and the world around it. Whether it is managing our emotions, choosing our words carefully, avoiding pain through distraction, planning for the future, or improving the comfort of our life, self-awareness can make it happen. However, self-awareness has more disadvantages than advantages because it is driven by personal desires, need for survival and safety. But what does that mean? You wonder. It means that self-consciousness can be a problem if you wish to be a good listener, a good friend, a good lover, a good person, or even a good leader, because in the end, self only benefits selfishness. And this is where most good people happen to make the vicious and self-destructive mistake to become selfless and make themselves more available to others in hope to leave the world better than they found it, which causes them to fight the self within to become best version of themselves instead of building their soul to just be more and more aware and keep self away. Because I will tell you a little secret about life that Patrick Nana helped me realize. The best version of you is none of your business. Just do what feeds your soul. What is soul, mind, or consciousness? If only we were taught from the very young age that self is the enemy inside, that our soul protects us from, the world would be a much better place. Have you ever wondered why it is so hard to be positive and feel worthy in life while feeling victimized and being negative requires zero quality to no efforts? As true as the ego has an agenda, the soul also has a mind of its own called cosmic consciousness, and cosmic consciousness is known for centuries as the state of soulfulness or wholeness. So what can people do to have better connection with their soul and lesser connections with their ego? The answer is simple. Shift your mind from self-consciousness to cosmic consciousness by feeding your soul with activities and people that can starve your ego.
Don't hate on people that got money, because I promise you, people that have money are more miserable than that broke bitch that live on the projects. I promise you, because the more money, the more problems.
Attaining cosmic consciousness or soulfulness is easy compared to what people think. However, maintaining and mastering the state of cosmic consciousness isn't. Because it is the right thing to do, and doing the right thing as we know it. It is not meant to be easy, and will never be easy. And if you do it without even knowing how to, then it becomes a heroic action. And that's why the journey to overcome the ego or self-mind, it's called the hero journey. You can Google it. This is 100% true. It's a journey that starts when we begin to face our fears and decide to become less possessed with our trauma, pain, and insecurities for the sake of becoming more awakened and open-minded to the idea of a more meaningful and soulful life. The question our client asked a lot is, can you tell me more about the soul? Patrick Nana always said, it is good to know that. No one can and will ever be able to explain the nature and existence of the human soul in human language without mentioning at least one of these 5 intermediaries or mediums. Number 1, the cosmic Christ or Jesus. Number 2, cosmic energy or positive life forces. Number 3, micro and macro cosmic particle of light, or in people language, the grace of God. Number 4, cosmic consciousness, soulfulness, or wholeness, also known as the state of oneness. Number 5, the cosmos or connection to the source.
So I can't buy happiness anymore. You know what I mean? I bought every fucking thing that I ever wanted, right? There's not really anything that I want.